You also had a lot of things, other arts where you were involved with the last 4 years. And you were painting and you were also preparing a film. And I would like to know what it's about this other project right now. Do you have one favorite art, or is it just the music again?
Well, I would have made my film Phantasmagoria, which is about Lewis Carroll and his life, and ultimately his struggle that I didn't realize I was relating so closely to, and his personality, which is very much Jekyll and Hyde. And that would have taken place when I made my record, but instead that's been postponed to October of this year. And instead of escaping music altogether and putting certain emotions and certain privacies into painting, I think that I learned from what I got out of painting, and I put that into making this record. So right now, music is very much the center of what I'm doing, but the other elements are not in any way forgotten or abandoned. I think I've just learned a better way to make them all benefit from each other, and it wasn't any other way of doing that except making this record.
And Phantasmagoria, when will you be shooting?
In October.
In October, okay. Great. So, I think, yeah. Let me see if I have something very, very important. Yeah, I would like to know if you could explain Nietzsche. Does Nietzsche still have an influence on your thinking, like Übermensch? What does appeal to you in the Übermensch theory?
I think that I spent a lot of time talking about philosophy in my life and in my career. And I talked a lot about a lot of metaphysical, a lot of philosophical, existential, esoteric ideas in my records. But it wasn't until I made this album that I realized that I was actually, and only after finishing it, I realized that it was the manifestation of these ideas. That as much as a record of mine like Hollywood was about alchemy, for example, and about, as Antichrist Superstar was about the inspiration of Nietzsche's writings, that this record, for me, was the manifestation of alchemy and the idea of the power of the human will. So I didn't set out to pick a theme making this. I actually lived the theme, and it was me finally coming to one with the things that I'd always written about, and realizing, not until after it was done, that I was getting to the point that I'd always thought I'd gotten to, but I hadn't gotten there yet.
Okay, can I maybe have one last question?
A short one.
Yeah, because I just there was also one what I read was that it's a search for eternal love, that it's manifested in the record, in the album. Is that something you would say so?
Well, I think the record is more me understanding romance in a different way. So it's not a search, and it's not a comment on the destruction of previous love, or is it the comment on current or future love? It's more me understanding that romance has to be completely living for today. It has to be reckless like that. And that's the way that I finally realized that if I found someone, and I did find someone that was willing to not care about tomorrow because today was more important, that romance could be defined that way.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, thank you. Can I give you something from